Good evening, everyone. When people see a billionaire on a stage, they often imagine a story written in gold. They picture luck, talent, or inheritance. What they don't see are the empty rooms, the nights of anxiety, the failures that feel like death, and the thousand tiny steps that no one claps for. Today I want to speak to you not as someone who was born rich, but as someone who started from zero, and who believes anyone can build something extraordinary if they understand how the game of reality actually works. Let's start with the most uncomfortable truth: money follows value. It does not follow dreams, or motivation quotes, or wishes. It follows value. If you are not creating something that solves a problem, improves efficiency, or fulfills a human need, the universe has no reason to reward you. You can't fake value. You can only build it. When I was young, I read books about inventors who were broke yet relentless. They didn't wait for permission. They created because they couldn't stand the idea of a world without their ideas. That's the mindset you need if you want to go from zero to billionaire. The first asset is not capital, it's obsession. If you can get addicted to solving problems, wealth becomes a side effect. Step 1. Reprogram your definition of success. Most people think success is a destination. It's not. It's a continuous state of evolution. The average person looks at the clock and counts hours. The wealthy person looks at progress and counts impact. If you work 8 hours and nothing new happens in your life, you are busy, not productive. Productivity means movement toward freedom. Busyness is just noise that keeps you enslaved. Ask yourself every morning, what am I building today that will still pay me in 10 years? If the answer is nothing, you're working for survival, not for freedom. Billionaires build systems that outlive their energy. Employees trade energy for short-term comfort. Step 2. Learn to learn faster. Knowledge compounds faster than money. The difference between a poor person and a rich person often starts with how they treat information. When you spend hours watching entertainment, you are renting your brain to other people's dreams. When you study, read, and analyze patterns, you start to own your destiny. Every new skill you learn multiplies your value. Coding, design, communication, negotiation, critical thinking, these are currencies of the modern world. The person who learns fastest owns the future. If you can absorb, adapt, and act before others, you will always stay ahead. Step 3. Embrace boredom and pain. People think billionaires are motivated every day. They're not. They just learn to operate without motivation. Motivation is a mood. Discipline is a system. If you only work when you feel inspired, you will never finish anything meaningful. The truth is, the road to wealth is mostly boring. It's repetition, experimentation, rejection, and iteration. The excitement comes only when you look back and realize you survived what most people quit. Learn to be comfortable with discomfort. Every time you resist an easy distraction, you build internal power. Every time you finish a task you didn't want to do, you expand your self-respect. Wealth is psychological before it is financial. Step 4. Create before you consume. The richest people in the world are creators. They produce more value than they consume. Before you scroll, ask yourself, have I created something today? A product, a post, a pitch, an idea, a design, a strategy, anything. Consumers fuel the system. Creators own the system. If you can switch your identity from, I use things, to, I build things, the world starts paying attention to you differently. Creation is hard because it exposes you. Consumption is easy because it hides you. But everything you admire exists because someone was brave enough to create publicly. Step 5. Build leverage. A billionaire is not someone who works harder, it's someone who works smarter through leverage. There are 3 kinds of leverage: people, products, and platforms. People leverage means you lead teams who multiply your effort. Product leverage means you build things that work while you sleep. Platform leverage means you use technology and media to reach millions at almost zero cost. If you can master even one of these, you escape the trap of trading time for money. Combine all 3, and you enter exponential growth. That's why billionaires talk about scalability, because scaling is how effort becomes infinite. Step 6. Treat money as energy, not emotion. When you start from zero, money feels emotional. You fear losing it, or you chase it too hard. Both are traps. You must see money as neutral energy, a tool to build more tools. Every dollar should have a mission. Either it works to create more freedom, or it dies in consumption. The poor spend to impress, the rich spend to expand. Never buy status. Buy systems. And remember, being broke is temporary, being poor is a mindset. If you think like a victim, you'll stay one, even with money. If you think like a builder, you'll create abundance even with nothing. Step 7. Build something people actually need. The world doesn't pay you for effort, it pays you for usefulness. To become a billionaire, you must serve millions of people. That means identifying pain points that others ignore. Look around. Every frustration, every inefficiency, every complaint is a business opportunity. You don't need a new idea, you need a better execution. Uber wasn't the first taxi company. Tesla wasn't the first car company. Apple wasn't the first computer company. They simply reimagined what already existed, and made it irresistible. Innovation isn't magic, it's curiosity plus courage. You look at something ordinary and ask, why can't this be 10 times better? Then you work until the answer becomes reality. Step 8. Build trust faster than you build followers. In the digital age, reputation is currency. People will buy from you, work with you, and invest in you only if they trust you. Trust comes from consistency, transparency, and competence. If you say you'll do something, do it, even when no one's watching. When you make a mistake, own it. When you promise value, overdeliver. Reputation compounds like interest. Protect it more fiercely than your money. Step 9. Master risk. Every great fortune was built on calculated risk. But notice the word, calculated. Billionaires don't gamble, they experiment. They gather data, test hypotheses, and bet big when probability favors them. The poor avoid risk because they fear loss. The rich pursue risk because they understand odds. Risk management is the skill that separates dreamers from builders. If you learn to lose small and win big, you will always end up ahead. Step 10. Build emotional endurance. Your biggest battles won't be external, they'll be internal. Fear, doubt, loneliness, exhaustion, these are constant companions on the journey from zero to billionaire. You'll be criticized, misunderstood, and sometimes humiliated. That's part of the ticket. But if you can survive rejection without losing self-belief, you become unstoppable. Your emotions must serve your mission, not sabotage it. Learn emotional control, meditate, exercise, journal, think deeply. A calm mind builds empires. Step 11. Learn to sell everything. Selling is not manipulation, it's communication of value. Every billionaire is a master salesperson, whether selling a product, a vision, or an idea. If you can't explain why your idea matters, you'll die invisible. Selling is storytelling. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. If you can connect emotionally while solving a logical problem, you create loyalty, not just revenue. Step 12. Automate, delegate, systemize. Once your idea works, remove yourself from the daily grind. Design systems so the machine keeps running without your constant attention. Automation frees your time to innovate again. Delegation builds leaders under you. A true billionaire's job is not to work harder, it's to architect ecosystems that multiply output while reducing friction. If your business depends solely on you, you don't own a business, you own a job. Step 13. Compound consistency. Small, smart actions repeated daily create disproportionate results. Most people overestimate what they can do in a month and underestimate what they can do in a decade. The billionaire mindset is long-term patience with short-term intensity. They think in decades but act in days. They plant seeds every single morning. Not all grow, but enough do to create forests. Remember, compounding works only for those who don't quit. Every time you restart, you lose momentum. Stay consistent even when no one believes in you. The results will become undeniable.